Hello and welcome back to a kooky corner of YouTube. Today it's updating my owl book and I have been busy designing a new owl to go inside it. But first of all, a little update on the ones that are in here. They've now got name tags. They've got little name tags. So I've done a little name tag for each one. Obviously with Barney's, I had to put it on the side of the cover, which is not a big deal. So they've all got little names going on now. We've got Barnita, we've got Harold, and we've got Molly. And here's my sketch for the new owl, for this one here. It's based on a long-whiskered owlet. How beautiful are owls. I just love them. There's so many different varieties. So the next owl is going to be Pandora. This is Pandora Owl, and if you are in my Facebook group, you will have had a little sneaky peeky of Pandora because I posted a picture of her a couple of days ago. So she's already in the book with her name tag. Now, she's a little bit tricksy, okay? Let me, I've got a pattern all ready for her, basically. And that will be in the Facebook group, in the files section. If you want to join the Facebook group, it's all free, and my camera keeps going on a tilt. Bear with me. There we go, that's better. Yes, if you want to join the Facebook group, all the details are in the description below the video. There's a little link there, you can click on it, it's free to join, and you will get patterns for each of the owls and other things that I am doing on this channel. So Pandora's a little bit awkward. More awkward than the others because these are all kind of front-facing owls, whereas Pandora's looking off to the side. So when you do the pieces of Pandora, you have to make sure that it's kind of positioned so she's looking a little bit sideways, because if you can see here, the distance between there and there is different. That's because she's looking in a different way, and so the pattern pieces have had to be cut accordingly. So just be careful when you're doing the placement of your pattern pieces. Just pay close attention to where you are putting the pieces. So I've got another one here that I've got cut out ready to make, and I thought I would show you. So you can see it's all kind of offset a little bit, and that's what makes it a little bit more tricky to put together. But as long as you're careful, and there's a little diagram on the pattern piece as well that shows you where all the pieces should fit. So if you look at the picture, the completed picture, so you can see the placement, then that will help you greatly. So here we are, we've got Pandora. Well, this is not going to be Pandora, is it? This is going to be another owl, because Pandora's already there, so we need to give this one a name, don't we? So what I'm going to do next with this one, as you can see, it is on a little stitch background. These squares that I stitched them on are about 4 inches by 4 inches approximately, so that they fit in my book. You don't have to stick to that if you're not keeping them in a little fabric book or something. You can actually put this on a little hoop. So you could stitch your owl onto a little embroidery hoop and just hang it up. That's one way of displaying your owl collection. You could put it on a card, so you could actually not make this out of fabric. You can make it out of collage papers and make it into a card, or you could have a fabric card. The choice is yours. There are so many options you can use these little owls for. As I say, I'm keeping mine in my owl book because I think they look lovely together. I like to be able to flick through. It's very tactile, this book. I like to pick it up and have a flick through and look at the little owls. So, right, let's crack on, shall we? So as I was saying, the background to this is it's just the little stitched backgrounds that I do for everything, where I lay down some fabrics and then just running stitch up and down them and then over sew around the outside of it. Basically you can see on the back what's been going on. Okay. With the applique, I try and put it all together and pin it. And I just find this is an easier way of putting it together rather than to just sew one piece at a time, because if your placement's wrong, you know, if you've put it in the wrong place and you've stitched it down, that is a complete bind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Marrakesh thread and I'm just going to go around the outline of my owl. This is similar to all the other owls. If you want to go back, I'll try and make a playlist of all the owls actually to make it a little easier for them to be tracked down. If you are following along the owl situation, then that might be a way forward. Yay, threaded a needle on camera. Go me. That's a win for today. Okay, so where shall I start? I'll start on the wing down at the bottom here. Nails are still breaking. I need to get some more gelatin in them, I think, because they're still flaking off in water. Not good. So I do apologise for the state of my nails in advance. And I shall be trying out, somebody suggested some Aveeno hand cream, which I will definitely have a look into in one of the comments on one of the other videos I've made. And yeah, I'll have a look at that. I have got Aveeno body cream, but I've not looked at the hand cream situation, so we'll do that. Okay, so over sewing around all the pieces. What I'm going to try and do is, you can just adjust this as you go along, because that rough piece underneath the chin needs to go kind of underneath a little bit there. But I'm not going to worry about that till I get to it. Just going to sew around and keep going, just keep sewing. The weather has definitely turned autumnal here in Devon. We've got lots of rain at present. So it's still fairly warm. I don't think it's cold. Oops, the beak was not stuck down. Take that off for a minute. You don't want a beak to flake off and disappear. So going all the way around. I'm going to continue. I'm going to stop there and I'm going to do this bit, I think. So I really want to pin down where this little ruff goes, and I want to make sure it stays in place. So I'm going to break off the round going around the edge, and I'm going to come down the cheek area. That's what I've called it anyway. Do owls have cheeks? I don't know. I'm kind of, well, I think you probably know. I'm obsessed with birds, but owls and ravens and crows in general are my go-to thing, my thing. So I've been looking at all the different owls, and I have a few owl books, but I've just ordered myself another one from World of Books. World of Books, not sponsored, is a wonderful resource whereby you can buy books that are secondhand. They do sell some new books, I've noticed, but mostly it's books that are sent in by the general public. I myself have sent in some of my books that I don't want, and the application that you do that with is called Ziffit. So you get a pile of books, there's a little app you download on your phone, and you scan in the book the code on the book, and they will tell you how much they're going to give you for it. Sometimes it's pennies, sometimes it's pounds. But I always think if you're clearing out, you don't really want the book, then, you know, why not try and get it to someone who would enjoy it? And I find this a really great way of having a bit of a tidy up of my bookshelf, because sometimes there are books, as you know, I'm a bit of a book hoarder, and sometimes there are just books that no longer serve their purpose for me, but would probably be very good for someone else. And so I think this is a really great way of getting them out and them not going into landfill, which is a sad fact. Sometimes even charity shops won't take them because they storage for books. I mean, Oxfam Books, they have a specific area that, you know, a specific shop where they just sell books. So a pile of books, I've just sent recently a pile of books off to Ziffit, and I think it's like £20 I got for them, which is, you know, it's something. But it's not the reason why I do it. The reason why I do it is to clear my bookshelf so I can fit on other books. There is a method in my madness, I tell you. So Ziffit is the side of Wob Books, or World of Books. Call it Wob for short. And where they get their books from, and then they resell them. And all props to them, because books get recycled, as I say. Anyway, I've digressed from my utter conversation here. What I was going to say to you was that I recently, in the last couple of days, just bought another book on owls. Need to make sure that this goes in the right place. I don't want to lose it. Come on. And the retail price of it, I think it was about £30 or something, and I've managed to get it from Wob for £6.20. So, and it does say very good condition, so we'll see when it arrives. I'll show you. Because there are so many species of owl, and I just adore them. I love all the patterns and the markings. They're just such quirky creatures. I love them so much. And we have an owl. Well, I've got my own little owl who hoots outside my bedroom. My bedroom window. You can hear him hooting. Obviously on the hunt. It's this time of the year, I suppose. And I can just hear him in the background, having a little shout. It's so nice to go to sleep to the sound of an owl hooting, isn't it? I don't know if you've ever done that, but I do enjoy that. It's very enjoyable. And it's sad on the evenings where I don't hear him. It's kind of, oh, where is he? Look what he's up to. Right, so we've managed to get that all in position now. So I'm going to continue all the way around the rest of the piece on the outside. I'm going to also go along this ruff piece here. I call it the ruff around his neck and the wing area there. And I'll be back when I've completed those. Voice over me here. This is where my camera didn't record the sound. Basically, I'm just going through a few of the other bits that I have done with the little owl in question. So explaining about how I went all around the ruff and all around the beak in a colour that matched the beak, because I thought that I didn't want to stand out too much. Around the eyes with the Marrakesh, and we've put the brads in there as well, as we've done on the other owls, and then the little feet all stitched in. Then I've added in some more stitching. So I've done some seed stitching. Well, it's not really seed stitching, it's kind of a bit bigger than a seed, but random stitches on his wing, and then some fly stitches for his chest. I forgot to mention about the 2 little French knots I did on the top of his beak for nostrils. In the background, I've done a few French knots here with some gold thread that I also used for the top of his head there. And just a running stitch going in the opposite direction for that side. So I'm going to call him finished. And I've thought of a name for him now as well. So the next thing is to make him his little name badge that will go in my owl book. So let's do that now. Got a little rectangle of calico. I've kind of frayed around the edges a little bit like I did with the pages, and I have got a ballpoint pen. Now I would use a friction pen, but I've used this pen and it seems to be fine, and if it shows up it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put it on a piece of paper and I'm just going to write in his name, and his name is Hector. So we've got Pandora and Hector. And this is just my guideline. I might have gone, need to go a bit lower perhaps with that. And this is how I've been doing all the labels for these. Just giving myself a little guideline. So we've got his name there. Now, to pick a colour, I think I'll go with this one. It's quite nice and it matches in with the thread I've used on his stitching. So, load up my needle, and it's just backstitch with this. It's just simple backstitch. Could have probably put a bit more thread on my needle, but I'll show you how I do the H and then you'll know what I'm doing. So, starting at the top of the H, tiny little stitch, then going ahead and going back really close to it, and then in front of it. So really close to the last stitch and going in front of it for stitch length. That's the first one. Then I'm not even bothering to restart my thread. I'm just going to take the thread up around the back, not pull it too tightly, and stitch and stitch, going up to the top of the H. Actually, I could have gone a bit further, so I'm going to go back a bit there. Yeah, I'm going to go back a little tad there, and take that up there, in front, back again, in front again. Try not to get your thread wrapped around your little piece. And up to the back, and tiny little bit there, and in again. And where I'll go from there is I'll just go straight onto the E and carry on round until I've finished. So, owl book. So you can see how it goes. It's literally, I'll continue round all my pieces until it's all finished, and then I just stitch a little. You don't have to do this. This is just what I've been doing. I've been stitching a matching kind of running stitch border around it, and it will just go on the opposite page. So we've got Pandora there, and the Hector will be going there. And this way, I've kind of got 2 of each of my owls now. So I had one that I make and one that I show you how to make, so I get 2 of each. So they have to go in pairs, really, don't they? So there's Hector, and his little stitchery will go there when I've finished it. But that's how to do that. Now, as I said, the pattern for Pandora or Hector will be in the Facebook group in the files section. So you have to be subscribed to me here on YouTube. It's one of the questions when you go to the Facebook group. You've got 4 questions to answer. It's just a way of checking that you're not a bot, basically. That you're actually a human being and you are subscribed to me, which is kind of a thing, you know. It's nice to have a group of people. As we've got there, we've got about 170 members at the moment, and we're all having a really lovely time sharing what we're making, and they get to have the patterns. So if you would like to do that, check the description box below and you will then be able to click on the link and come and join us and make a few owls and postcards and all the other things that we're doing at the moment. I know a lot of people are sharing things that they've made from patterns of mine, and it's really lovely to see how they're interpreted. So come and join us and I will see you there, and I'll be back here very soon with something else. Bye for now.